Hello, we're going to continue with Undefeated. By the time I make it downstairs slowed by the aching in my abs, I can make out the sight of Red lying down the hall, walking alongside Bucky and Drayden. His voice is even more clear from this distance, sounding something akin to asking Bucky to hurry. We meet halfway with Bucky looking like he's ready to kill someone, but in a funny way. Drayden looks anxious. Sander, what's up, Buck? I Bucky pulls Redline into a headlock, forcing a yip for the yin. It was just in time to watch this little mutt get demolished. They start bickering and I fall in line next to Drayden. Mind filling me in? Redline said he's got a new fight and he asked me to fight him. You think you can ruin my date, little man? Date? Drayden blushes and stammers, but Redline pipes up. Hey, I didn't ruin anything. I just want to spar. You want to spar, do ya? I'll spar with you, little furball. They're both laughing, with some even more aggressive grappling. We make it to an empty gym, and the two of them rush in. Drayden's face is still red, seemingly unsure what to say. He and I lean back against the wall as Redline and Bucky get into a fight gear. Well, Redline gets into his. Bucky's still wearing his uniform, but has MMA gloves on now. All right, little buddy, you know how to take a bigger opponent. Redline was already charging on in, rocking Bucky's gut with a solid straight. Bucky didn't move, only laughing as his arms wrap around the yin. See, now there's your first mistake, getting within throwing range. In the grand spectacle, Bucky lifts Redline up, then slams him down on his back. He lets out a yip of pain, but manages to get his arms around Bucky's neck. What's your next move, little With his little arms draped over the kangaroos, he tightens a guillotine hold. Bucky sputters and calls out a laugh, and I can see his legs repositioning, crawling up towards Redline's. With a deep, guttural grunt, the bigger man starts to stand upright. Redline's tail is wagging as he lifted up into the air by the sounds of Bucky's coughing, only tightening the choke. Bucky chokes again, arcing his back to lift Redline up even higher. Then slams him down onto the mats hard. Redline lets out a much louder yell. His body was very clearly convulsing as the pain walks up through his body, but remains locked tight against Buck's head. His legs kick out, failing to find purchase on the mat as the lack of oxygen starts to show its signs. After another few seconds, the coach taps Redline's arm 3 times, signaling his submission. Redline laughs and releases the hold, laying spread eagle under Bucky as the both of them try to gather more air. I turn to Drayden, who seems enamored. We should stop this? Drayden doesn't respond, only staring at the two as Bucky swaps to putting Redline in the chokehold, guiding him on how to break out of it. Drayden, what? Oh, no, I think they'll just, they aren't using actual power, right? It should be fine, I think. I guess that's fair. They aren't supposed to use full power, but that slam sounded pretty heavy. Maybe that's just how they spar. Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever watched two of them actually spar. It's normally Redline and his friends. So Bucky spars with you? Huh? No, he'll hold the pads if we have an odd number of people, but normally it's me with one of Redline's buddies. I see. What are they like? His friends, I'm not really sure. I don't pay enough attention to them. They kind of just blend in with everyone else down here, except with Redline, of course, but we're roommates, so Brayden nods and folds his arms over his chest. Redline and Bucky are steady now. The two of them squared up just outside striking distance. Redline growls something, and Bucky pounds his own gut, beaming wide, inviting Redline to strike him. Redline's next fight is with someone bigger than him, so the cat lets out a chuckle in size. Trust me, he told us all about it. Bucky actually coached Jesse for about a year before he got bumped up to Tier 2. So he switched coaches? Yep. Or so I hear. He can start booking private sessions at that level. And apparently Jesse and Bucky never really got on too well, so it was a good thing all around, I guess. I guess so. Hard to imagine what kind of asshole you had to be to not get along with Bucky, but I've meant why and so. How has Redline been since the party? I shrugged. He's been alright, I guess. A little sad here and there, but I don't think it has to do with the party. Then what was he sad about? He seemed anxious about not getting fights for a while. Thought they were going to fire him. Brayden chuckles as Bucky tackles Redline to the ground again. I don't think they get rid of him just like that, but I'm glad to hear he's got a fight coming up. Have you heard anything about his friends? I don't really talk to them, but he did kind of get weird when we saw them yesterday, now that you mention it. He got all quiet, but he said it's because he hadn't had a fight in a while. I see. Right, it's not like Redline would stay quiet about his friends. He never shuts up about them. Even if he hasn't talked about them in a few weeks. Huh? Do you think something happened? Brayden sighs. Probably. Should we say something? I try asking. He keeps saying everything's fine. As frustrating as that can be sometimes, we can't really force him to open up. That's fair. He's right, it sucks, but forcing the questions could only make things worse. And how have you been? I still don't know if I should talk to him about how much Bruce and I have been talking. At the very least, we should talk about it in private. Not bad, my ass still hurt after the fight last night. Well, that's the worst you're feeling these days. That sounds like an improvement. Have you heard anything from your family? Actually, now that you mention that, no, I haven't. Not since we talked a month ago. I see. Have you put any thought into what you'll be if he calls again? He's awfully persistent. Do you think we could maybe talk about this in private? Of course. Just let me know when you like to talk it over. You have my number. Of course, Doctor. As Bucky finally pins Redline, the kangaroo cranks him back in a chokehold. After a few choke laughs, the little hyena taps out and the two collapse forward on the mat, exhausted. They both have big smiles on their faces. They seem happy. Bucky scoots Redline up, draping the limp yin over his shoulder and toss back over to us. Hey, I'm not done. Oh, yes you are, pup. We got a fight coming up, and we got practice later. So that means you gotta rest. The kangaroo stops in front of us, then flips Redline over, holding him bridle style. He turns to look at me, and Brayden, tongue hanging limp out of his mouth, panted like a dog. Here, you want him? Bucky starts to hand him over, and I awkwardly accept Redline into my arms, and immediately has to ease him towards the ground. He's heavier than I was expecting. He catches himself on his feet, then drops down, laying spread eagle and panting. He catches himself on his feet, then drops down, laying spread eagle and panting some more between giggles. That ought to wear him out for a bit. You had fun fighting above your weight class, pup. Yeah. How come you never trained me like that? That's because, maybe we should start then. Never took you as a glutton for punishment too, Zandir. And Flashy pulls me into a headlock, grinding his knuckles hard against my head. I try swinging my fist for his sides and pulling free, but with no luck. It's too warm. Pressed against his sweaty body, bare knuckles digging harder and harder into my scalp. I had to tap out. There you go, little man. He lets me go, and I stumble back against the counter. Redline lets out a little laugh, but goes back to gasping. Just a little taste of what's to come now that you're in with got me fired up. I'll make sure you get some special training with your coach. Now, if you'll excuse me, I was about to go on a walk with my dear friend Drayden. The doctor blushes a bit, and Drayden and Bucky leans down to help Redline to his feet. You boys gonna be alright for class later today? Yeah, I'll be gunning for you, Coach Buck. And that's double your punishment in class. He lets out a laugh while Redline tries to get a worry protest out. Bucky and Drayden make their way to the exit. Let's chat more soon, you two. I nod at Drayden, but Redline just collapses again, panting face up on the ground. I sit down next to him, listening to him giggle for a while. He's never tried putting me in a headlock like that before. He's really scary when he gets riled up, but in a fun way. Yeah, I noticed. I think Drayden noticed too. How's your back feeling? I'm fine. I'm great. Those slams were nothing. They really did not sound like nothing. Do you learn your lesson? Oh yeah. Coach gave me plenty to work with. I haven't wrestled like that in a while. You and I grappled like 5 days ago. No, I mean like it was someone bigger. And Buck is way bigger than Jesse. That loser's gonna eat pavement. He rolls onto his front and pushes himself to a standing position. I'm gonna go one and grab some water, maybe a sour too. Bucky stinks. It's definitely more your sit, man. Redline takes a whiff and realizes his mistake. Says, I'll grab a sour. Red starts out. Redline takes a whiff and realizes his mistake. Says, I'll grab a sour. Red starts out the door, and at the same time, I feel my phone vibrate in my pocket with a heavy grunt, forced by the pain in my abs. I get myself up off the ground and check it. It's a text from Dad. Hey. The text can wait. I charge out into the hall to see Redline pressed up against the wall by someone. Come on, pup. It's an easy question. Some sort of canine about Rooster's size has Redline pinned soldered to the wall. There's to the gym. He's gotten a bit of a sleazy grin on his face. Redline looks uncomfortable. Stop, Cole. I always said. And that Cole smashed the side of Redline's muzzle, forcing a yelp from the yin. I told you to call me Alpha Pup. Hey. I managed to catch their attention, and they both turned their heads to look at me. You might what? Leave her alone. It's okay, Xander. Hey, I think I recognize you. He shoves Redline away and staggers up to me, bumping me against his chest. I stand my ground, staring straight up at him. I don't care, fuck off. You're that little queef that spilled your drink all over me. I remember the incident, but not the faces. I was panicking too much. It all happened so fast. It was back on my first day. I was talking to Redline and I bumped into someone hard enough to accidentally crush my smoothie cup. The lid popped open, spilling the drink onto the big guy. He shoved me back and I slipped on the bit of smoothie that fell to the floor. Red tried to keep me held up, but I just dropped. There were 4 guys. One was Bruce and the guy that I bumped into was white. I was so scared when I saw Bruce, I totally forgot what the other guy looked like. Hey, what the fuck? You got a problem, shithead? The canine with a stain barks back at Redline. Wait, I remember his voice now. It was just a little bit prior to my first time entering the cafeteria. I was walking through the aisles of tables. I got distracted by the food stations along the back and I... Oh shit, my bad, little dude. This was the guy that hit me by accident, or maybe he just didn't care. They all laughed at something. Probably the fact that I just got dead by this big guy. I turned around to walk away anyway. I turned around to walk away, but he lost or something, little guy. That's right. I don't think I ever got an apology for that smooth incident, little man. He lives out over me. I can feel his weight pressing into me. I don't know what's gotten into me, but I'm not as scared as I should be. And I don't think Redline ever got his. Cole glares down, a slight scowl wobbling from his throat, but he smiles, then reaches back for Redline. In a single swipe, he's got him in a single hairlock. He's got him in a hairlock, grinding a noogie hard into his scalp. Hey, we were just having some fun, ain't that white little slut? Stop. Ow. I just want to know where my buddy Bruce is at. Said he was gonna meet me wild. Said he was gonna meet me wild here. Figured the Fang fuckhole would know where the champ is. Redline just growls and struggles harder and harder. Not even Alter to respond have to do something. Idiot. Bruce strolls out of the weight room next to the gym, scruffing Cole harshly. He releases Redline immediately, who stumbles forward into me. The canine turns around to face Bruce. Jesus, dude, you're late. I've been waiting for you to spot me for an hour. You're a dumbass. I said we were meeting at 1:30. No, you said we were meeting at 12:30. I said 1:30. You forgot how to tell time. The two keep arguing for a bit, the commotion getting louder and louder as it draws the attention of random passers-by the hall. Eventually, Bruce grumbles and stomps back toward the weight room. I'm gonna go work out. You better quit picking on the light weights. Heh. Cole squats Redline again, or at least he manages to grip it. I step between them, keeping Cole from moving him. Or what? You gonna hurt me? Bruce sighs and steps closer to Cole, staring him down. Drop him. Cole hesitates and lets Redline go. You've been doing this shit for months, Cole. You spend all your time fucking around and lost your last 5 fights. Quit being a fucking idiot and get to work. The two stay pressed chest to chest, growling until whatever. Cole finally releases his grip, sort of checking Bruce as he stomps towards the weight room. Bruce sighs and follows behind him. I swear I catch his eyes looking to both of us before he enters. What a creep. You okay? I think so. You know him? Redline lets out a long sigh and takes attention out. Started down the hallway. I know a lot of people down here. I'm guessing you heard the fuckhole? Yeah. His ears are folded down, talking under his breath while we walk. I get really close with a lot of guys down here. My mind goes back to Redline detailing his encounters while we were at the beach. Yeah, you mentioned it. Well, Cole was different. Most of the time the guys would just come over. I helped them out, and that's it. Cole was really mean about it. He's rough, not in a fun way. And ever since then, he's just kept making fun of me for it. I mean, I get hazing, but when he does it, Redline stutters as we reach the second floor. It's not to be wanted like that, but I don't know, it just makes me feel like gross. Hopefully Bruce can keep him on leash. I can't always be around to protect you. He goes quiet for a second, looking away. Sorry. I wasn't trying to make him feel bad. Shit. Don't apologize to me. It's his fault. Right. By the time we make it to the room, Redline's stone silent. He gathers up some clothes quick and leaves a shower. He seemed so proud of his escapades when he was bragging about the beast, but I feel like he's still not being fully truthful. It's not to be wanted like that. Like an object, is he proud of that? People are free to do what they love, but it doesn't feel like there's any love there. Maybe it was an obligation for him. He probably feels pretty lonely. His only friends stopped talking to him. All he's got is me and Bruce, and now he's getting shoved around by some creep. I think back to the time he embarrassed me in class. I felt fucking sick, and the last thing I needed was to be isolated from everyone else down here. All I wanted to do was run to the showers and cry. And cry. My body moves on its own, tilting out of our room and stomping down the hall towards the showers. I'm there before I can even think. There's only one shower going. I move closer, leaning up against the wall next to it, staying quiet to listen. Staying quiet to try to listen. It's hard to tell. I guess that's why people cry in the showers. Red? Ah! His face appears from around the side of the shower. Oh, hey man, what's up? He doesn't look like he's been crying, though it's hard to tell. His whole face and body is soaked. Are you okay? Red pauses for a second, then smiles. Yeah, man, why? You worry I'm gonna slip and fall? It'll take a lot more than that to hurt me. Though that is a real fear of mine. It's not really why I'm here. Just making sure you're okay. It looked like some of Bucky Slam's hurt. Oh, that guy's got nothing on me. Right, well, if you're alright, I'll head out. You sure you don't want to hop in? The water's nice and frigid. I roll my eyes and start to leave. I'll pass. Catch you later, Red. I'm sure he's fine, at least as fine as you can be after getting stubbed by some meathead in the hallway. Carl, why would Bruce ever be friends with a guy like that? I guess it would make sense if they were both as dumb as I thought. But Bruce is smarter than that. At least he seems smart. He seems smarter than that. Maybe it's hard to make friends out here. People say that it gets lonely at the top, and I guess that's probably had some truth in it, especially the selection down here is bone dry. I pull out my phone to check the time. Alright, the text from Dad. Text or at least an improvement. Now I can see what he has to say without the pressure of talking back right away. Hey, bud, call me. Dad. Well, there goes the option of not talking back right away. What the hell does he even want to talk about? I should just delete the text and block him. For some reason, my body gets a little numb whenever I think about that, tingling in places all over for a second, then it disappears, like I got caught doing something I'm not supposed to do. Probably something to talk with Drada about. I strike the text away and try to push it out of my mind. A lot's been going on in the last, 12 hours? Bruce tried to get me to leave, and now he's trying to be friends with me. Redline got a fight, and he needs to train. Redline needs to train. I need to focus on that. Anything to get the rest of this shit off my mind. I guess I've been here for a while as Redline walks in with the first change of gym clothes. Oh, you're still here. Yep. He always smells like a wet dog. The room stinks of it when he comes back after the shower. I was gonna try out my fight stick for a bit before practice. I don't really have anything better to do, so I sit once Redline tap away on his buttons. It's like riding a bike. The other controller is nice, but this one's more comfortable, you know? It's like riding a bike. The other controller is nice, but this one's more comfortable, you know? He turns to look at me excitedly. I actually used to, he was flattering. It's like riding a bike. The other controller is nice, but this one's more comfortable, you know? He turns to look at me excitedly. I actually used to, his ears lower. He looks back to his laptop. And anyway, I'll shut up for now. Did he just get embarrassed? I didn't know. Saying was something he could feel. You're fine. Talk away. Redline shakes his head, booting up that fighting game from before. Nah, I just talk your ear off. And let her outside and sit on the foot of his bed to get a better view of the screen. If I'm being honest, it's weirder when you're not talking. The game finally boots up, blaring the theme music. At least his ears are perked up now, though that might be from the sudden volume. Redline sheepishly chatters away. about some of the lore behind the game. It sounds really confusing, but I'm only half paying attention. Uh, mm, he starts on some menu. I think my internet is out. My phone's working just fine. It says it's connected. Do you think the new firewall is blocking me from playing my game too? I wouldn't put it past him. Redline sort of deflates his hair. Sorry about that, Red. Maybe we'll get Bruce to learn how to play. I was half joking, but maybe that would give them something to do together. Anything to keep Redline happy. He sets a big clunky controller down, gets up and stretches. Well, might as well go get ready for class then. You're gonna try to get your ass kicked by Bucky again? He laughs and holds the door open for me. Bucky and Jesse too. I'm gonna have them singing stars. The next few days go by in a blur. Redline's working out almost non-stop. When he's not sleeping or eating, he's in the gym, the weight room, even the swimming pool. He's up early and out late. No time to spend with. He's up early and out late. No time to. He's up early and out late. No time to spend with his friends. Barely able. He's up early and out late. No time to spend with his friends. Barely even any time to annoy me. Classes are going pretty well, too. Since the fight was on such short notice, Red and Bucky are usually working directly with each other. And apparently their impromptu sparring match gave Bucky a lot of insight on how to help Redline improve. It's actually pretty interesting watching him while he's determined. He's always pretty focused in the classes, but with the fight coming up, he's gotten a lot more intense, but in a good way. Normally he'll goof around a bit, joke around with Bucky, be a little extra just to be extra. He's still got the cheeriness, but it looks like he's funneling all his energy into training. Diligence, maybe that's the right word. The kind of guy that can focus his sights on exactly what he wants and put everything he has into getting that. Unfortunately, with those two working so closely together, that means I have to deal with the rest of the guys in our class. They're always reluctant to work with me, but I don't care either way. If they want to treat this like picking classmates in high school gym class, then I'll be the adult and actually try to get work done. I swear one of them actually tried to hit me with full force at one point. Retaliating in the same way would just get me in trouble with these. I wish these guys were focused like Redline is. Somehow they made it this far in their career, and they treat it like it's some kind of frat house, whatever. Time passes, Redline trains. He goes to the weigh-in and bigger. Redline takes his head. They don't list the extra weight, so I might just be remembering wrong. But I swear, Jesse looked even bigger than I remember him being. And you said he was already bigger than you? Yeah, maybe I'm just remembering wrong. I usually have a good eye for names and faces, especially someone as popular as Jesse. Are you nervous? He scoffs, flexing and patting his bicep. What do you think you're talking about, Zan? What do you think you're talking to, Zan? I'm tougher than every chump down here. After pausing for a second, he blushes and goes back to standing normally. Aside from you, of course, and I guess maybe Bruce. That's yet to be decided. And Bucky? I knock him out in the first minute. Confident if that's the case, I'll make sure he knows about your plans. Redline laughs. There's that laugh. It's better when he laughs. The fight comes up quick. It was barely a week when they announced it, so the past few days have felt like a blur. Time feels weird down here. All we do is eat, sleep, and train. Sometimes I forget which day of the week we're on. I accompany Redline and Bucky as far as I can, right to the hallway leading to the immersion chamber. I wave them off as they enter the door leading to the catacombs. Well, not actually catacombs, but that's what they feel like, just a long-ass maze of hallways and doors. Redline normally tries to drag me to the fights, but I actually don't mind watching them. The problem is everyone else. The rest of the guys are usually talking way too loud, goofing around while trying to watch and study the fights. You think they get rid of all that energy during training. At least I've gotten good at tuning it out. I'm at the point where unless someone bumps into me, I can't even tell they're there. I enter the viewing room and see the inside of the arena is already on screen, so I hurry up and drop down in the empty chair and empty seat as far away from the others as possible. The commentator starts speaking off camera. Good evening, Fang fans across the globe. This is Brett Brock, your favorite Hawk, coming to you live from the Fang Arena. Brett Brock, my favorite Hawk. He's alright, I guess. He's been commentating Fang fights for a long time, at least for most of the time I've been watching. Fang's got a lot of ring IQ, and he also tends to provide a lot of insight on the fighters that other commentators would have missed. He keeps track of their records and history and tends to talk about things in a way that's just nice to listen to. The last guy before him got canned after he asked the cameras to turn away from a particularly bloody fight. Apparently his comments were in the start of the knockout and they couldn't use it for promos. Whatever, Brett's alright, definitely better than his co-host. And now Johnny War. Fucking Johnny War. This guy's a grade A creep. He started out as a video podcaster, which is a stupid name already. You make videos, that's not a podcast. Anyway, he got popular going over some Fang fights, especially when they started getting more and more violent. He used to interview the fighters whenever they could get topside to speak with him. He got popular fast, so Fang brought him on to commentate. Now he's working some kind of weird limbo position where he's in Fang part-time just to talk over fights. Since then, the embargo on fighters talking publicly has only gotten stricter, so he doesn't do too many fighter interviews these days. They got replaced by interviews with man I don't even know. The last 3 guests on the show talked about how much they hate women for not putting out on the first date, and then immediately sat on gay people for daring to look in his direction. His early videos have some actual insight into the fights. Now he's cultivated such a god-awful audience. It's just mind-numbing garbage. And he fucking sucks as a commentator. I mean, he's okay, I guess, but Brett had such a nice flow on his own, and now he has some homophobic influencer spout off bullshit while he's trying to talk. I can't know it, but it just makes the audience Fang Garners a lot worse to deal with. Lots of people hoping for more bloodshed and violence. Blessed to have you here, Johnny. How are you tonight? I'm fucking stoked for the fights, Brett. You know, I've been flying all across the country these last few days, recording stuff for the Johncast, so I barely had time to read up on the fighters. You mind filling me in? More than happy to, as usual, JR. Brett starts listing off the card that's about to play out tonight. Pretty standard fare for a non-title fight card. A few fights from each weight class. Most of the big events occur on a monthly basis, but this isn't one of those. In the final fight of the evening, we got Raising Redline headlining against a two-round terror, Jesse. Who in the hell is Raising Redline? I'm just reading the name on my card, Johnny. They both laugh at that, Raising Redline. That's the kind of stupid nickname Redline would give himself. Two-round terror now. Jesse calls himself that cause he barely makes it past the second round. Well, now you make that sound like it's a bad thing. Is it a good thing? You don't exactly have rounds in Fang. Thank God for that. But Jesse's fights have never gone beyond the 10 minutes standard round length, of course, being around 5 minutes. But I swear, every fight I see this guy in, he's had them out cold by 3 minutes. Yep, Jesse's made quite a good name for himself with his quick knockouts. I think it'll be interesting seeing how Redline fares. Raising Redline? Yes, that's one. Redline's been in Fang for quite some time now, but still hasn't had too many fights. He's got 3 wins and no losses right now, compared to Jesse's 14 wins and 2 losses. Jesse's definitely got experience on his side, but I know Redline's got a perfect record for a reason. Oh, looks like our first fight is about to start. The screen dims whenever the fighters step out of the elevators. I lean back in my chair as the fight commences. At least it's pretty chill in this room. The smaller cars don't always get huge audiences, so it's not too bad. Hey, Bruce grunts from behind me. It almost makes me jump, had it not already been decently noisy in here. The seat's taken. Without waiting for an answer, he shuffles through the round of seats, dropping down a few chairs away from me. No one else seems to notice, so I try not to either. At least he's not bothering anyone. Bruce really only shows up for title fights. Come to think of it, he's never at any of his friends' fights either. Why is he here? None of the heavyweights tonight or big names. None of my business, I guess. The fight gets started, so I'll settle in. Overall, it's a decent card. Some of the new faces, well, new to me, were impressive. One of them landed 3 cartwheels kicks in the same fight. Still not sure if that's impressive for him or for his opponent for getting knocked out by one, but impressive nonetheless. The fight before the main event was between a Rhino and a Tiger in the heavyweight division. Looked like an easy fight for the Rhino, but his ego was a bit too big and the Tiger was a bit too brutal. If I had to go into a fight with that much blood on the floor, I'd be a little unnerved, but there's not exactly enough time to clean off the cement. I've always wondered how they clean that off. Blood stains stuff pretty quick, right? How do they get the colors out? It's not like they can pump new cement every week down here. I guess they don't have to replace the whole floor, or maybe they have some kind of chemical that can clean that deep. But who cares? It's not something I have to bother with. The 2 commentators are still chattering on about the last fight when the screen goes black. And stepping into the arena first, we got a challenger, Raising Redline. I can't believe they're still rolling with that nickname for him, but sure enough, Redline trots out of the arena to the sound of some rock music. His stats flash up on the screen. 5 feet 8 inches tall and 143 pounds. I guess I wasn't too far off of my original estimate. You know, I remember seeing this guy's fights while they were scouting him out, and I could tell he was gonna do some great things. I mean, the guy's an animal. He got stamina, he's got speed, he's got a surprising amount of power for someone his size. These lightweights, man, they're getting deadlier every year. We haven't been able to see too much of him, but that might just give him the advantage he needs over Jesse. Hard to research your opponent when you don't have much to go off of. Exactly. And speaking of Jesse, it seems he's stepping out now. Jesse stomps out of the elevator, his stats still up on the screen. 5 feet 8. 5'8" is tall, 189 pounds. This is supposed to be the lightweight division. Redline said that they both passed away in, but if this is a lightweight fight, he shouldn't be over 180. Maybe it's just a typo. That doesn't seem like Fang's normal level of quality control, though. They do have the system bugging out for my fights. Bruce is leaning forward in his seat. He looks pissed. Well, he's always looks pissed. It's so hard to read his face. Coming in at 5'8" and weighing 189 pounds, this guy is a beast. I know we were chatting earlier about his knockout power, but he's just insane. Looking like Johnny saved Brett from having to comment on the size difference is even more apparent when both Redline and Jesse are staring each other down from their sides of the ring. And here we go, kicking off the final fight of the night. Redline steps in with his fist extended. It's customary for fighters to tap gloves before they fight, a sign of respect. Jesse seems to have missed that day in class and instead charges forward with a fist crooked. He swings it in a wide hook that should have cleaned Red's head clean off, but the handle was too fast. Redline ducks under the hook, circling out while sending a parting shot to Jesse's body. The Puma was relentless, coming for Redline even after he tried to escape. Two more blows fired at Red's snout, both missed their mark just barely as Red created some distance. See, that's how Jesse gets you. He just comes out the gate swinging. I've seen way too many guys take one too many from the start, and it just all falls apart from there. You think after that kind of predictable start, people would start expecting it. Instead, Redline just did. He's prepared, or at least as prepared as he can be at a 50-pound disadvantage. Once Red's got a good distance, he makes sure to keep it. Jesse's got an intimidating form, foregoing proper technique as he stomps towards the hyena. Red's already circled out by the time he gets close. He's riding the gate, moving along the absolute edge of the arena. He can put a foot down outside it now and again, but if he's fully outside it, Jesse could close the distance and keep him there until he turns out. Red's fast, only pulling his hands up if Jesse gets close. Some people might see it as disrespectful, but Red's not the type of guy as far as I know. He's back against one end of the ring. The Puma moves in. Redline ducks and circles out, hardly even bothering to fight back. Seems they're playing some tag in there. Redline's making him move all across the ring. He's playing a dangerous game, but I think I see the picture. If Jesse's fights only last for a few minutes, that means he probably won't have the energy to fight past that time limit. Once he reaches that time, he's gonna get exhausted, weak, slow. Red can piece him apart. Of course, he's got to survive that long. No doubt the first few punches thrown at Red would have ended the fight then and there. But if the gamble pays off, Red will stay undefeated and make it to the next fight. Hopefully against someone his size. Just then Redline stumbles over his own tail. Jesse's fist cracks clean against his muzzle, and the hyena staggers to one side. Oh, there's a nice sound. A few of the guys still watching the fight made a bit of an uproar. A mistake like that is usually pretty huge, and it's clear Redline's paying for it. Bruce next to me lets out a sharp breath. His gaze is deep and intense. When it comes down to it, Redline has no shot of surviving more hits like that. He might be fast and have plenty of energy, but he doesn't really have the option of starting a slugfest here and now, especially if he's flustered after that mistake. I solidly thank the stars for how useless Deer's tails are. Taking advantage of Redline's compromised position, Jesse follows through. His massive frame charges in with another fist aimed for Red's face. The hyena's got his guard up, blocking a blow to his face and another to his chest with his arms. That still got a sting, but better on the arms than on the face. Jesse ends his combo with a kick to Red's chest, to his ribs, but Redline catches the leg against his side. Wait! The whole room freezes to watch. Before Jesse can react, Redline clutches that leg tight. He pivots on one foot, turning in place, releasing Jesse as he turns. The Puma has no chance of fighting back. He hobbles on his standing leg, then ultimately gives in as his body is thrown along the floors, sliding outside the ring. If the floor was a typical conference floor, that might be less painful, but we could hear the sound of skin scraping on the cement from here. And even as small as Redline is, there was some serious force to the throw. The 190 pounds is a lot to drop on the ground, and after how much Red has been running him around the ring, it was started or so. Jesse's sweat left an imprint when he skidded. I cannot believe it. He threw him to the ground like it's nothing. Typically, after taking a guy down, you want to follow him to the ground and beat him unconscious, but Redline is exactly backing away. He's opted to let Jesse get back up. That's a pretty big gamble. I've seen some guys do this before, but it's actually just to piss off the other guy. Maybe makes sense, right? I mean, look at the guy. He's a string bean. If he goes to the ground with Jesse, he's gonna get rolled, pinned, and knocked the fuck out. Of course, Redline is playing the long game. If he tries to finish the fight, he's going to get overpowered. If he tries to prevent Jesse from getting back in, he's going to get overpowered. The only option he has is to use the ring out rule against Jesse. That will force him to get up and waste more energy. Sure Sure enough, after a few seconds on the countdown timer, Jesse's stumbling to his feet and back into the ring. Redline looks full of energy, still moving carefully without issue. The sweat makes a nice seam over his fur, and there's a bit of blood from the knock he took, but he looks ready as ever. Jesse, on the other hand, is a bit sluggish. His fur been matted down by the sweat, and he's moving a bit slower as he re-enters the circle. It's clear he's not learning too fast. It's clear he's not learning too much, or at least he's not getting the picture just yet. He takes a second to breathe, then charges right back in to attack Redline head-on. The two play the same game as before, with Redline taking the occasional shot at Jesse when he circles out. It's not exactly the most interesting way to fight, but it's a more strategic fight. Given the size advantage, that's a better way to operate. If he wants to be silly, he could. That's Redline's whole ordeal, but he knows as well as I do that every second he spends in there is dangerous. The way that Jesse keeps charging in at Redline, he looks more like a bull than a puma. About 10 minutes have passed. This is a ridiculous amount of time to be fighting without a break. Aside from the hook on Redline and Jesse being thrown, not a whole lot has happened. There's been a few clean strikes here and there. Redline's nose is bleeding a bit more after taking a jab or two, but he hasn't broken concentration. Jesse, on the other hand, looks like hell. His legs are shaking, he's losing sweat fast, his arms can barely stay up, and when a punch is thrown, Redline's dodging and countering with three more, all sent to the body. Aiming for the head is a good way to knock someone out, but body shots can be devastating. The body is sensitive, especially if you take a good shot to the liver or the solar plexus. With good aim and enough power, you could drop a guy for a few minutes with one shot there, no matter how big it is. Bearing that, of course, hitting someone's ass accumulates over time. The more you work their body, the harder it is for them to breathe, and the more energy they have to spend just to keep fighting back. Targeting only the body and conserving energy while your opponent is notorious for having a limited amount of energy is a perfect combination for... Yeah. Holy shit. I blinked, thinking I missed something. It all happened so fast. Jesse was exhausted, completely white, and went to throw a punch, but his guard is absolute shit at this point. He's got no form, which is exactly where Redline wanted him. The Puma's fist has extended, with Redline having more than enough time to evade it. Rather than let himself stay within range of Jesse's deadly fist, Red opted to use a kick instead. You could see the consciousness leave Jesse's body. With how exhausted he was, it didn't take much to put him out. The Puma went limp the instant Redline's foot connected with his jaw, and the sound accompanying it made it clear that something was broken. As Jesse follows the others in the room, all come to attention, Bruce tenses up, and when I turn to look at him, I can see a grin on his face. Time resumes, and Redline wastes no time finishing the job. Jesse's body falls limp to the canvas, and Redline follows up, both legs planted over the Puma. Redline bends over, swinging 1, 2, 3, 4 hooks across his opponent's face. Once it's over, he's not fighting back. The bell rings out, and Redline rises. What a beautiful kick to the head. Redline has put Jesse out cold. Looks like he gets to keep his win streak going for another fight. And with a performance like that, I think he'll be keeping it for a long time. He raises his arms and pumps them, roaring out some sort of victory screech as the screen starts playing. Bruce leans back in his chair and folds his arms. He's still smiling. Redline played it smart. He was patient and calculated, and being able to fight for that long under pressure from an opponent that much heavier just proves how hard he worked for this. He deserves it. I've woken out of the best sleep I had in a while by someone pounding at my door, followed by what sounds like the door to the side staircase opening and closing. Probably some asshole running down the hallway and waking people up for no goddamn reason. It's happened before. I rolled out of bed and stumbled to the door. Redline's not here to be woken up. The doctor had him stay in the med bay overnight just to clear him for a concussion. That was a few hours ago, though. I'm sure he's fine. I swung the door open to see if anyone else got woken up. There's a scrap of paper on the floor in front of my door. Looking down the hallway, there's no one else awake. I flip the paper over. Get where to beach. B. Bruce? Bucky? If it were Bucky, he'd probably just tell me directly instead of slamming on my door at 11 p.m. I can't tell if this is a dream yet. If it is a dream, it would be pretty lame of me to just go back to sleep. Might as well enjoy it. I'm really not in the mood for whatever Bruce has in store, but it sounds like he wants Redline more than me, and they actually seem to have a history, so slide on the pants and sneak my way down to the med bay. I don't know why I'm sneaking. There's no curfew down here, but I walk with confidence right past the receptionist and wander through the halls until I see a room with Redline's name outside it. The door creaks open, and he's in there, sitting on the bed, legs dangling off the side. His ear twitches when it hears me, but he doesn't move until I speak up. Red? Immediately he comes to attention, turning to face me with a big smile. Ah, scary dude, what's up? You're still up? Yeah, the doctor cleared me a while ago, but I was chatting with Drayden. I feel like I have a responsibility to ask him about that, but Bruce's note shifted in my pocket. Yeah, the doctor cleared me a while ago, but I was chatting with Drayden. I feel like I have a responsibility to ask him about that, but Bruce's yeah, the doctor cleared me a while ago, but I was chatting with Drayden. I feel like I have a responsibility to ask him about that, but Bruce's note sitting in my pocket. I gotcha. I got this note about our room. I think it's from Bruce. He wants me to bring you to the emergency chamber. Without question, Redline hops down from the bed, scoots a little knapsack over his shoulder, and trots to the door. Sounds good. Just like that. Do you need to check out or anything? Now they offered to let me stay tonight, but I don't think I'll be doing any sleeping. Fair enough, he must still have some adrenaline when the fight. We make our way down the long hallway, and Redline's uncomfortably quiet. He doesn't seem sad, just quiet. For once, I'm leading the track, and after a few minutes, we make it to the immersion chamber. Are you sure you want to do this? If you need to rest, we can. Nah, if he wants to see us, we can see him. We open the door and find Bruce standing behind the bar counter, setting up a few bottles of various drinks. He looks up as we enter and smiles when he sees us. There they are. Redline and I share a quick glance before he speaks. What's all this? A party. Didn't you know fighters get a celebration after a win? Yeah, but that's usually a tier 3 thing. Well then, you are a tier 3 fighter just for the night. Figure a fight like that deserves a little party, so I booked the room for us. This feels like a setup or something. I don't know. Bruce saw how drunk Redline got at the party. He knows how wild he can get. But Redline smiles, drops his bag and jogs forward to the little hut. Dude, that's so nice of you. What the fuck? Heh, just don't go missing it to Bucky. Why? Afraid he'll kick your ass? Yeah. The two laugh as the beverages crack. Bruce looks at me and nods before starting to down one. Feels kinda late to be drinking, don't you think? Don't be such a party pooper, Xander. It's alright. We'll only have one or two. Plus, I hate for Bruce to go through all the trouble and have it go to waste. No trouble at all. I saw the fight. You were fucking great. Redline's tail starts wagging a little harder at that. He's having trouble finishing his drink fast enough to respond. You got how many backflips? 4, no 5. Bullshit. I bet I can prove it, only if I get to be the one throwing you in the water. We've been talking for a while. I'm getting a little sleepy, but it's nice to listen to other people talk, just as long as I'm not the one needed to provide conversation. Redline and Bruce have been chattering about their various vacations for the years. Red brought up his summer cabin adventures, bragging about how many flips he did off the puds. We can always self your chest if we create the aftermath. Why, so you can see my nipples, you whore? Yeah, maybe get something tattooed there too. Raising Redline. Red howls with laughter at that. I still can't believe they let me get away with it. I slept Brett the revision. I slept Brett the revision at the weigh-in. I didn't think they'd read it. Well, congrats on your new brand, Razor. God, don't. The sports drinks are gonna be breaking down your door for a sponsorship. Yeah, don't make me regret it any more than I already am. Redline sells Bruce playfully as they laugh, but when Bruce sells back, Redline resists a bit too much, and his drink tips over, covering Bruce's shirt and shorts. Oh fuck, I'm sorry, man. That's my bad. Adorno flicks a bit of the pungent drink off his arms and rattles to the exit. Let me go get a change of clothes. Be back in a sec. The door closes, leaving me and Redline alone under the night sky, with at least a simulated version of it. Redline's giggles are still dying down, but after a bit of silence, he speaks up. Bruce is so fucking hot. I'm shaken a little by how subtly he speaks up, but there again, by the realization of what he just said, he seems to notice too, as he covers his snout and saying, "Sorry, I know you two have a whole thing going, but it's been on my mind forever. I don't know who else is willing to hear it." It's fine, Red. His tail starts wagging. I mean, you're really cute too. Thanks? What the fuck? Where did that come from? I guess he's a bit more mouthy now that he's drunk. Redline laughs again, face down against the railing as he snickers. Sorry, I didn't want you to feel left out. That sounds like he said it out of pity or consolation. It's fine, Red. Thanks, you've been calling me Red a lot lately, Xander. Have I? Yeah. Normally it's Redline with you. Buggin and I actually made a bet on when you stop. Oh, sorry. Is that a problem? No, not at all. I thought it was cute. It's fine either way. Red is reserved for good friends and family, of course. Right. What about you? What? What about me? Which guy do you think is hot? I don't recall ever telling Redline I like men. How do you know I'm gay? Because you just told me, dear boy. Oh, damn. Redline rolls his eyes. Besides, I need you to tell me that. I got 6 cents. Hyenas have very strong gaydar. I thought hyenas' 6 cents would be a sense of humor. Because they're laughing all the time, right? Right, is that offensive? Redline thought it was funny at least. What the fuck? That's perfect. Okay, then gaydar is my 7 cents. He taps his nose, then touches one of my antlers. And it's almost never wrong. Well, he's got me there. With how openly comfortable he is, I don't really have a problem confirming his suspicions. Yeah, then you got me. Redline giggles and ruffles my hair. So which guy is it? Anyone here got your eye? I was gonna say Redline. He seems to have some interest in Redline. I mean, not that much, but maybe Bruce, but I was gonna say red line. I reached out to scratch behind his ears. I could see his eyes roll back slightly before he closes them. His fur is so soft. If we're being honest, I guess you're pretty cute. That sound that sounded mean. Whoops. He doesn't seem to mind though, giggling as I pet him. Thanks. What about you? I don't know. I think a lot of guys down here are cute, but like most of them don't want to hear it, you know? Plus it's hard to tell them that with their dick in my mouth. Right. Oh, sorry if this is too much. I chuckled and leaned forward on the railing too. That's okay. Okay, thanks. A few seconds passed while we watched the waves. You did really good in your fight, you know? His tail wags. You think so? Yeah, man. You played it really smart. Even the commentators were surprised. But it makes sense, you know, how hard those guys hit. I do, yeah. Redline points to his snout. There's a bit of dry blood there. I swear he almost knocked a tooth loose, huh? Imagine how much trouble I have eating. You can probably go without a single tooth. You never know. Bruce hasn't hit your jaw yet. Hasn't he? All those fights just kind of meld together. I'm glad you and Bucky got something figured out. Yeah, I learned a lot. Didn't he do a bunch of wrestling with you? Yeah, I learned not to wrestle with the bigger guy. He gives a tired laugh. I was really worried. I've never had to fight with someone that big. Not in an actual fight, you know. It's pretty scary, right? Yeah, duh. I mean, he's only a couple pounds bigger, nothing like you and Bruce. A couple pounds. Dude, he was almost 50 pounds heavier. Redline pauses. Huh? Are you sure? He's big already, but wasn't sure if I was just anxious or... And I never did see his weight. The weigh-in doesn't let us see. It's weird that he's not even a lightweight. It was a lightweight fight, right? Bucket said I made weight. Do you think they made a mistake? Maybe there was a different red line, or maybe they're trying to find me or get me to quit, or... Redline keeps spouting out his anxieties, and for some reason I can't help but place my hand on his head. His fur is really soft. Redline freezes for a moment, mouth still open. I can see the blood on his face. Is it Xander? I don't really know what came over me. I just had some urge to pet something soft. You seem anxious, so I cleared my throat and moved my hand back to the railing. That's okay. If you ever want to pet me, you can just ask. Bruce does it all the time. All the guys do, really. Sometimes without asking, but that's okay. I like the attention. I'm not really sure what to say. I don't know why I did what I did. He was cute, and I don't know why. Huh? Redline's quiet for a second. Then his paw traces against my hand. It's slow and it's trembling. I take his paw. It's still shaking, but settles a little bit in mine. His tail's going crazy though. Redline lets out a shaky sigh, but stays silent, his thumb tracing the back side of my hand. He feels so scared, but the longer we stay like this, the calmer he gets. Sorry, close your eyes. I don't really question it. I think I know what's coming. I think I'm okay with it. I close my eyes. Red, you. Just then I feel a quick kiss on my cheek. I open my eyes and look at him. He's smiling, still leaned in close. Redline whispers in a low voice. I meant what I said earlier about you being cute. I can smell the sweetness on his breath and look back to Olsen. You're just drunk. Redline laughs a little and his grip tightens. They're non-alcoholic. I'm pretty sure. I turned the bottle nearest to me and read the label. Huh? Huh? My hands is released. So, were the other fights good? Mm-hmm. They were fine. Nothing really to write home about. One guy got a cartwheel kick knocked out. Jesus, why hasn't Bucky taught us how to do that? Probably because he knows you'll go for it in a real fight. Redline laughs and lets out a sigh, leaning forward against the railing. He walks away in silence for a bit. Hey, Xander. Do you think you'll be doing this forever? Fighting, I mean? I don't know. I guess I kind of have to. It boosts my opponent every time. Until you kick his ass or he retires. Right, any day now. What about you? I don't know either. Don't get me wrong. I like doing what I do here. Fighting is fun, or at least it was. I don't know. It's not really what I expected. This feels familiar. What did you expect? Another side. I don't know. Fighting was a lot more fun when I was doing it. For fun, you know? I liked staying fit. I like spending time with my friends and family. I guess I can't do that anymore. Why not? I mean, I'm down here, aren't I? People always said you have to be dedicated and do what you love and all that. Here I am, miles away from my friends, and he shakes his head. Sorry. Well, do you love fighting? I do, but it's like, I'm not doing it because I love it. I'm doing it because I have to now. Is there anything else you'd rather be doing? I don't know. Yes, but I don't know what. Maybe I could have joined that band my buds invited me to, or maybe I could have done more photography, or maybe something with fighting games. Just, it's hard to tell if I fucked up, you know? I'm sorry. I know. I do have one goal, at least. Yeah? Yeah? I want to be the best fighter down here, and I want to get so good that they put me in charge. And I'm gonna make some changes, like bigger rooms and more vacation days, hot water in the showers, and healthcare and better pay, and let people use the internet, and more than 2 washing machines. And I'm gonna make them use 4 eggs in the omelets again, and I'll fix city situations like yours, and give Bucky a raise. You just want to be in charge so you can beat him up without getting fired. It's just, you weren't supposed to figure that out. We laughed for a bit. Okay, but I meant what I said, though. One day, I'm gonna run this place. And I'm gonna fix everything. Is that how it is, then? The commissioner sighs, eyes glancing to the screen on the wall filled with spreadsheets and reports, reviewing data for the night's fights. With numbers like that, you won't be going very far. But not to worry, Red. He snaps his fingers and a very exhausted-looking rabbit comes to attention. Sir? Theodore. Do you have the roster set for next matchmaking day? Yes, sir. Though I don't think Redline is on it. Bring it here, please. I have a few changes I'd like to make. Alright, so now I'll stop right here. It seemed almost as though the commissioner might have heard what Redline said. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it seemed like he was actually responding to what Redline just said about him wanting to take over Fang. I don't know if he's serious about that or not, but I mean about him wanting to take control of Fang. I don't know if he's if Redline was serious about that or not, but it sounded like the commissioner might have heard Redline. I don't know, but anyway, who knows? Maybe he can hear in all places throughout the facility. So anyway, he beat his opponent, even though he had a 50-pound weight advantage on him, or 30-pound, I don't know. But anyway, this fighter he went against, he was outside of the lightweight class. He weighed 189. If you weigh over 180, you're not a lightweight. So this person shouldn't be a lightweight, but he gets to fight Redline anyway. So this person's about 50 pounds over Redline. So apparently he tires out. I mean, he gets tired quickly. Like if the match goes on for a long time, he tires himself out, and this is the reason why all his fights end in about a few minutes. So it's probably the reason why he charged out. Like when the match started, he charged that Redline all of a sudden, so that way he could get a head start in the match, and so he can have a better chance of it ending soon. So Redline was a better fighter. He was able to keep the match going for a long time, and that worked to his advantage, and he won. Yeah, he's a very good fighter, very patient and skilled, and he's very strong for somebody being small like he is. So I mean, he was very concerned about him going against somebody bigger than him, like have a weight advantage over him, but it's not the same as Xander going against Bruce, who almost weighs, like he's almost 200 pounds over him. So Redline doesn't have it quite as bad as Xander does. Alright, so I picked Redline because I would say he's the right fit for Xander. I mean, yeah, he's a little annoying, and he does get himself into trouble when he gets drunk. But he's been very nice, and both are similar to each other in stature. And Xander, he's been gradually getting more closer to Redline. So I decided to pick Redline. I mean, Bruce, I think Xander started to come around to Bruce, and that I think he's starting to realize that Bruce is not really the bad guy he thinks he is, but he's in the same. I mean, he's not the bad guy he thinks he is. I mean, Bruce is trying really hard to make amends with Xander, and it looks like Xander understands that. So Bucky and Drayden, they might be sort of like a thing, like a couple, because Bucky seemed to give a hint that they may have something, he and Drayden may have something going on, maybe not, but I don't know, but they seem to be really close. And Cole, he's bullying Redline, and Bruce had to get involved and stop it. Apparently, Cole has something against Redline for some reason. Now, Bruce and Cole are friends, so maybe he is jealous of Redline, taking attention away from, maybe he's jealous of Redline, being with Bruce, and Bruce is not spending as much time with him as he does with Redline. That might be it, because Bruce and Cole, they're friends also, so it's kind of strange. I mean, but anyway, that's why I think the reason why Cole might be bullying Redline so much. So there's an ambulance coming, loud ambulance sirens about here. Anyway, that's not good. I mean, he keeps bullying Redline, and Bruce told Cole that he's not a good fighter. I mean, he lost most of his fights, so apparently, I guess it's easier for him to pick on Redline than guys his own size. So, since he's not a very good fighter, so, and Redline did not enjoy it. He just want to Cole offer him, and Cole, Redline can be rough, but he likes it when, like, a playful roughness, like with him and Bucky. They roughhousing, being rough, but it's playful, playful and friendly roughhousing. This here with Cole, it's just not good at all. Just hostile, and just like the guy just wanted to really beat him up and cause harm to him. So it's a different type of roughness. So that's all to say for now. So thank you all very much for watching. Bye.